What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Game Chat, and I actually have a requested video. Big Gamer 1234 actually asked if I could make a follow-up to my New Vegas Which Faction Should You Choose video and make it about Fallout 4. So what I'm going to be doing, if you guys don't remember or didn't watch my original video, pretty much what I try to do is talk about what the actual main character's motivation would have been. More so from a canon perspective of the game rather than from an idealist point of view, whether you think one thing is better than the other as an individual yourself, personal thinking. I try to kind of go into the logic that the actual character would be motivated by. So with that being said, so we have 4 endings, right? We have the Minuteman ending. Pretty much you build your settlements and you destroy the Brotherhood of Steel and the Institute. You could still be friends with the Railroad, and it's pretty much a neutral ending, I guess. With the Brotherhood of Steel, you're going to destroy the Railroad and the Institute. Of course, they're tech hoarders that just kind of want to win by any means. The Railroad ending, you will destroy the Brotherhood of Steel as well as the Institute. Of course, the Railroad views the synth robots that were created as people, so they're kind of view them as being slaves, so they want to free them. Then you have the Institute ending, which pretty much you have the Railroad and Brotherhood being destroyed, and you're just helping the Institute pretty much try to create a whole new society. Alright, so now we're going to jump into pretty much the whole point of the video, which we're going to address the pain point of the game, right? So you're in cryo sleep, and your spouse is right across from you. You see your son get kidnapped. So the main motivation of Fallout 4 is to find your son. And just for time's sake, I'm going to kind of cut to the point. You find your son works for the Institute. He's not the child Sean that you see when you walk in. He's grown up Sean. He's in charge of the Institute. Logically, as a father or mother, you will find your son in this game, or in real life, or in whatever story setting you're putting this in, as a person. When you find your son that was missing or stolen, you will befriend your son, you will be part of their life, and you will support their endeavors, and you will listen to them and do what, you have catching up you need to do. With that being said, it's going to be the Institute. Realistically, in the Fallout post-apocalyptic world, you're going to find your son, and you're not going to suddenly betray him with your bleeding heart of whatever you think is morally correct in the Fallout universe that you found yourself in. One of the big Fallout tropes is to give a player choice, right? Especially with the ending. You find yourself as somebody who really has no reason to be controlling the entire outcome of a large population. You found that in the Fallout New Vegas video that I made. You're a courier that gets shot. The entire large pain point that's presented to you at the beginning of the game is to find the guy who shot you and get your revenge in whatever way you want, which you end up doing. However, then all of a sudden you are put into this giant role of deciding who gets to run all of New Vegas. The same idea is presented here. You have your pain point from the beginning. You want to find Sean. You find him. And now, all of a sudden, you have to choose who's in charge of the whole freaking show. This is where Fallout games become fun on the player level, because now you have your moral dilemma choice. You get to do whatever you want. You have a little bit of free will exercised here. Maybe, for example, you're playing through, you don't have a connection with Sean, so you just don't care. Maybe you strongly believe in synth rights, so you want to side with the Railroad. Maybe you love the Brotherhood just as a faction from other games, so you want to side with them. What I'm saying is all of these choices are good, and all of these are definitely going to be influenced by the individual player. However, in terms of what player X is going to think is very different from what character X is going to do in the story realistically. So that's why I'm saying the Institute is probably the simple logic choice for, like, let's say a machine learning AI was playing this game. It's probably going to pick the Institute if it was pretending to be a human, just because it makes a lot of sense logically. With that being said, I would love to hear any rebuttals that people have, any other logic that you'd like to throw into the mix as to why you think that the decision should be different. However, I would like to hear it from more of a logical perspective rather than like from what an opinion would be, because like I personally also think that, yeah, synths shouldn't be slaves, right? But that didn't affect kind of the logic that I had when making this video on what would the character really do, he would hold his son more. So if you guys have any kind of really good arguments, any solid rebuttals, I'd love to hear those. Obviously, I want to know what you guys chose and why, because, I mean, like I said, that's kind of the fun of the Fallout game, is to see kind of what people are thinking. So, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a decent enough rest of your week.